Hey guys, how's it going? Root24 here. I hope we're all doing well, at least the best that we can right now. 2020 has been a pretty weird year, I would say. A lot has happened, a lot has been happening, and I feel like this year has been strange, right? It's been really short, but also time feels like it's just lasting forever right now. But we are indeed halfway through the year, and it's June. So as always, we're going to go ahead and take a look at what games are going to come out in the next 4 weeks. If you're looking for a brand new game to pick up, in the Japanese release schedule, then maybe it might be one of these ones. Let's go ahead and let's jump right into it. Here are my picks for June 2020 in the Japanese release schedule. Alright, getting things started on June 4th is Kowloon Yomo Gakuenki Origin Adventure on the Switch. Now this is actually a remaster of a re-release of a PS2 game. So the game came out in 2004 on the PS2 in Japan only, and then was later re-released in 2006 with some extra content, and this is a remaster of that version. The game itself is actually kind of like a spin-off from the Tokyo Majin Gakuen series, which I think none of those games ever came out in English actually. There was an anime in 2007, and I think that might have come out in English, but the games themselves never kind of got released. So chances are, if you're in an English-speaking country, this is the first time you've heard of this series. I mean, it's the first time that I've heard of this series. But if you look at the trailer right now, it has a pretty distinct mid-2000s look to it. So if you kind of grew up in the 90s or the early 2000s, like watching anime, this style might be kind of nostalgic. And if you're looking to play a game with kind of a more retro kind of aesthetic look and feel to it, this is probably what you might want to check out. So it's a adventure dungeon crawler that really looks like it just kind of came from that time period, but with now it's in a 16:9 ratio on a modern system. If that's not your thing though, then you only need to wait until June 11th to check out the Wonderful 101 remastered on the PS4, Switch, and PC. The Wonderful 101 came out originally on the Wii U, and I think because of that, not a lot of people got to check it out. The Wii U just didn't sell quite as much as people were expecting. And even if you did own a Wii U, maybe you didn't pick up the original game. I don't know. So this is by Platinum, and they're known for action games. So if you wanted something with a lot more action, you probably would have a decent time with this. They're just known for action games. After Platinum went independent, they did their Kickstarter, and this is one of the things that resulted from them going independent, and that's why we can play this on the PS4 and the PC. So if you don't own a Switch for whatever reason, but you do own a PS4 or you do own a PC, you can still check this game out. It's on way more platforms. So ideally, a lot more people can play this game. Alright, so if you don't want to play an adventure game and you don't want to play an action game, then you might want to check out a puzzle game. So on June 25th, you can check out Mr. Driller Encore on the Switch. Mr. Driller Encore is kind of like the 20th anniversary celebration of the Mr. Driller series itself. And Mr. Driller Encore is a remaster of Mr. Driller Drill Land, which came out on the GameCube in 2002. That game itself actually never came out of Japan, so if you're in an English-speaking country, this is probably the first time that you're able to check out that game, which is pretty cool. I've never played the Mr. Driller games at all, like any of them. I'm just not that good at puzzle games, so I never really gave them a shot, but I do have friends who have played them, and I know from what they said that it's really fun, it's really addicting. So if this is kind of your thing, if you like puzzle games and you just like this general like bright aesthetic, then you're probably at least a little bit interested. I think for me, the most interesting thing about this game is that the music is done by Goshina. And if you don't know who that is, Goshina's done music for, I mean, a bunch of other Bandai Namco games, but I think he's known most for the Tales series and the God Eater series, and he's recently worked on Code Vein. So if you know what those games sound like, if you know the kind of the musical themes that are in those games, like I think that's pretty crazy to try to imagine that style, but for a puzzle game. And that's it. That is it for June. I know it's a really short month, only 3 games. It's kind of like May, where not a lot came out. I mentioned Ninjala, which was supposed to come out in May, but that actually got delayed. So if you were still interested in that game, that is coming out in June now. So definitely go ahead and give that a look. You can check the last video for footage of that game. If you're anything like me though, this is a chance to go ahead and jump back into your backlog to try to finish up some games that you started but never finished. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm having a pretty good time. If you want a new game to play that's not like an actual new game, I know GOG.com is having a sale for the next 2 weeks. If you're watching this video in the future, then I'm sorry, the sale has ended. But from GOG, you can pick up the 3 Trails of Cold Steel games in English. There is a fourth out in Japan already, but if you're playing in English, you can pick up 1, 2, and 3. They're all on sale on GOG right now. So if you want a JRPG to play, definitely give those a look. I actually really do enjoy those games. Really good, really fun JRPGs. As for games that I've been playing, I've actually been playing through Trials of Mana over on Twitch. We've been streaming it 2 times a week. We're almost done at this point. I almost forgot the games used to be written like this. The story is definitely a Super Famicom RPG. You can really tell right away. But it's been pretty fun. Even though we're almost done, we'll be jumping over to a new game pretty soon here. So if you want to come hang out in chat, I would love to see you there. I'll put a link down in the description, so give me a follow over on Twitch, and I hope to see you soon. Anyways, as always, if there is a game that I did mention and you feel like I should have, absolutely let me know what it was down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more just like it, keep an eye on the channel. I'll do my best to have some more content up soon. As always, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you again. Take care.